telling me how much you feel things have changed.
Mm,
The density,
yeah.
negativity, the call to like the intensity of your practice. You were going all the way back to COVID.
Yeah. We're talking about where we are right now in this day and age and how it feels like things have gotten more denser. And dense in the sense of there's more energy on the planet, and with more energy on the planet, there's more uh, intensity, strife, shadow, but there's also more hope, uh, enlightenment, joy, connection. Like both sides have intensified quite. It feels like it's getting louder and louder and louder and brighter and bigger. And how within that density, there's the opportunity to go deeper into one's mindset in any direction at the same time. Like it feels like for me, it feels like I've all the work that I've done in mindset leading up to this point is supporting me in walking through this density. Like I can feel it like it's like a cloud that I'm walking through of the world field, the world energy and the world field.
The world field.
Yeah. It's like I'm walking through a cloud, and if I'm not careful, I can identify with that cloud as mine and as me. But if I'm alert and aware, then I'm able to uh, see it for what it is and stay locked into my mindset.
Can you come with me?
I'm gonna hang for a little bit more. I'm gonna hang and swing.
All right, I'll be back.
Okay. Jesse's gonna go upstairs, and I'm gonna hang and swing and talk. Mm. That density has a lot to do with what we can manifest, what we can call in, what we can create. It feels like uh, the way I think and the way I feel now has such rapid and loud reactions, more than it has ever had. Uh, for example, my physical body. If I feel off emotionally or mentally, I feel it physically. Like my physical body will ache in some kind of a way. My stomach will hurt, or I'll get like a really tight chest, and it's much louder than it was before. And one could say like, okay, I'm just I have a family, I have a child, so life is more dense for me because I'm just more in the world than I was before. And there's some truth to that. There's definitely some truth to that. And at the same time, I can I can feel that whichever way my mind goes is the reality that I see around me. And we're in a time where that density that is on the planet that can sometimes be very heavy shadow. It can sometimes be a very heavy sorrow. Uh, can cause your creative force to be really low power, to be extremely low powered. And so everything that I've done in my life leading up to this moment was the training grounds for a more denser energy time. For a time when it's actually easier to be a downer. It's easier to be a downer in this time. Especially if you're paying attention at all to what's going on in America. And then what this means, though, is that it's so important to really tap into the power of how you're thinking about yourself, how you're thinking about what's coming to you, how you're thinking about the money that is in your atmosphere that is coming to you, how you're thinking about the relationships and the connections and the quality of those connections that are around you and are coming to you. It's more than ever time to really lock into that experience, because the energy is so denser. Where we think and where we feel happens a lot faster and a lot thicker, quicker. And so not only is it on one end harder to see the light, it's also extremely impactful when you live in it. And I feel like we can see that right now. We can see that right now in the world. You know, this was the first thing, especially when I started this journey of really knowing myself more than just this physical body, but understanding about the emotional, the mental, the spiritual, what was before this life, what was after this life, that whole journey of spiritual understanding. Right at the beginning of this, I was told about this fork where we're going to be going this way, and then suddenly things are going to start splitting, and then people are going to be choosing which direction they want to go in, which direction they want to go in. One direction is this heavy, dense, ego-based, consuming, I, me, mine, grabbing mentality. And the other direction is this space where the self is connected, where you feel your connection with other living beings, where you're in tune with the elements, where you're in tune with life, where you're getting confirmations and conversations with ancestors. It's like these diverging paths, and it's what's happening now. Like I felt and knew that this was where the world was going, and now it's has intensified these branches, and you can see it in how the separations of people, and you know, conservatives versus this other group, and the Republicans versus the Democrats, and all these different sides that people are taking. The separation is intensified. And very soon there's going to be only one way to move forward. It's either going to be in this dense egoic path that is not so sustainable, or it's going to be in this embodied path. But these are the only two ways that creation is going to happen. There will be no more middle ground. I feel like we've been living in the middle ground and experiencing the middle ground for so long. But the middle ground is going away, and we can see that in the wars that are being fought. We can see that in how our president speaks, that the middle ground is not there anymore. It's either you go this way or you go that way, and there's no other pathway. and and um, and even things like uh, pandemics and viral things that just pop up. These are also expressions of the diversion, of the splitting of the paths. I felt like this most recent pandemic that landed in 2020, that I will be cautious with saying the name due to like views and shadow bans and all that stuff. But so much of that pandemic, I feel, was people were given a choice. Are you going to stay aware of your capacity to be healthy, your capacity to be alive, your capacity to be well, even amongst a declining physical body? Do you have the awareness and the mindset to hold yourself intact? Or will you let the fear of this unknown take you out of this world? I feel like that's a uh, one of the manifestations of this splitting of the paths. And I think that this will happen again. I don't know when or how and how it will exactly look like, but the testing of our faith will return. And so everything we're doing today is lining us up for the testing of our faith. That's coming. And so this is meant to be glorious more than it's meant to be a downer or something that has anything to do with doom or gloom. This is meant to be glorious because what it means is that, become more aware of what is yours and what is not yours, and really let yourself believe in the power of your mind, the power of your emotional body, the power of your ancestry, the power of your super soul, the power of your guides and your teachers pouring through you, moving through you, the power of your Ori, the power of the Orishas, the power of uh, the elements, and really tap in and tune in to what they're saying, where they're guiding you, the power that you have within you to create, and not be swayed by the density. Not be swayed by the density. It's a glorious time to stand in that knowing, to stand in that faith, and watch the world shapeshift around you, because that alignment is that powerful. Now it's time more than ever to get free so you can think freely, so that you can feel freely, so that you can create freely. The old marketing techniques are starting not to work anymore. The old ways of performing, the ways of throwing festivals, throwing events are starting to not work anymore. So how do we create? How do we bring the people? How do we create? And how do we give love? And how do we receive love? It has so much to do with the energy that we hold and the people that we surround ourselves with. That was the transmission for tonight. Sending you love on your path. À tout à l'heure.